Hello everyone, and welcome to today's showcase. Now, I wanted to go back to more of the heavy weapon variety. I think I've covered nearly every weapon once. I think every category means what I meant. But now I want to move back to the heavy weapons. They are more difficult to wield, but the payout is very easy and clear to see. They're powerful. It's always a downside that they're heavy and slow to swing. But when you time it right, your opponent dies very, very quickly regardless of how big or small they are. So, after covering the biggest hammer in the game, I thought, okay, why don't I go cover one of the biggest swords in the game? In this case, it's the GreatSword. I almost ran into that one. Yes, a reoccurring weapon in Dark Souls. The funny thing about the GreatSword is, it's not a GreatSword, it's an Ultra GreatSword. Yeah, that's not confusing when you see it on paper. Never know why they didn't change that. Weird. But anyway, the description's a little too long, so I'll read it zoomed out here. This Ultra GreatSword, as I said earlier, with its thick blade, is one of the heaviest of its kind. Highly destructive and notoriously heavy. Very much so. Even with my 50 strength, still takes a lot. There would appear to be some evidence to be rumors this sword tested its true limits of human strength. You can say that again. The skill is the plain old stomp shared across many heavy weapons, which is use one's weight to lunge forward with a low stance to increase poise, followed with a strong attack for a spinning slash. So yes, it's heavy. It's no surprise. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people, and nearly everyone, should have seen what this weapon looks like. Now, visually, the weapon is very reminiscent of a famous anime of Berserk. Although the Dragon Slayer that Guts used is much thinner and more broad, they're about the same length and style. But yes, this weapon, it's like you take Guts' sword and the thickness of Cloud Strafe's Buster's sword from Final Fantasy VII and combine the two. And now add the weight of both weapons together, and you think you have this sword exactly. But yes, it's just a towering weapon that you'll drop on your enemies. Alright, looking at the stats, the physical, no surprise, a heavy weapon must have a lot of physical damage. If it doesn't, it's not going to be very good. So this one has more than enough physical to get started. Moving on to the attribute bonus, we got 2Ds. Given how much bonus we got out of that, I reckon that the strength is on the borderline C. But we shall see about that in the upgrade. In the attribute requirement, I wasn't kidding about strength. You need to be strong-armed for this. May not have the strongest arm in the game, but if you want to wield any heavy weapon, you gotta dedicate yourself to strength. Dexterity, by the time you get 28 strength, I'm sure you'll have 10 dexterity. The Stomp costs 10 FP to initially use, and then 20 to use a follow-up attack, which is what you want. And the weapon is notoriously heavy at 20.0. Heavier than any other conventional weapon. At this point, these weapons are now unconventional, given their giant size. And the guard absorption is acceptable also, given its size, because you won't be using a shield probably with this. I won't be, but oh well. Moving on to animation. Animations, your character's basic attack is the impossible swing with one hand. The power attack with one hand is again more impossible swings, as your character lunges his weight around. Two-handed basic attack is a little more believable attack, and then it goes to unbelievable. The two-handed power attack is probably the most realistic of them all. That was a joke. Again, your character sweeps a wide motion and drops it on an opponent. The Stomp is pretty much a spinning motion. Must be 2 attacks though. Sprint attack, you simply drop the blade on your opponent. Now for the upgrade. This weapon takes plain old Titanite shards. So we have plenty of those. Upgrades also looking pretty damn good too. Looking at least yet, but pretty much nearly almost 20 upgrade. And that is consistent going through. And look at that, the attribute bonus is also going to C for strength. Called that happening. And then I'm not really surprised. So yes, consistently it's pretty good. And what I wasn't expecting is the attribute bonus for dexterity on the next upgrade would come C. That does not happen with very many weapons with both attributes going up to actually an acceptable, good area. Very rare indeed. So, I think the Night Guy is here a little jealous of my giant blade. I think it's longer than his. And I think I know how to use it better than him too. But, in terms of pain-wise, we both deal plenty of damage. Me, maybe more. Critical attack-wise is truly destructive, going over 500. Now, even though it's slow, I have amazing reach with this thing. Every attack is just destructive. And a power attack against those guys, they're dead in one hit. No question about that. Let's try the special stomp, and I nearly killed a knight in one hit. Almost. Now, what if I could just try and break his shield? Didn't mean to do that. But oh well, I'll fight him again. Now, how many chances will it take to break his shield? Let's test. I'll try with pretty much a heavy power attack, and boom, one hit. Excellent. Now, I don't think I need to do it again. I'm pretty sure I didn't need to use a power attack. Now, against a giant opponent, this weapon's still very destructive. Very destructive against him. 2 hits, and he's nearly dead. Very quickly, and then one power attack, gone. Such a heavily destructive weapon, but though against the Dark Knights, they make it a bit more challenging, because they're much quicker than my other opponents. But they take damage all the same. Doesn't matter how much armor they have, you just drop his weapon on them and it matters nothing. Easily destroyed, just like that. But that was way too quick. Way too much, well, way too little resistance given. So let's go against the other one. The one I don't like fighting because it's way more aggressive. Now in terms of length and overall damage, between the Black Knight's Greatsword and this one, it's pretty much a tied neck and neck. So I'd go for the Greatsword. It's much easier to get. In terms of damage and reach, same. That's what I read anyway and seen. Now, moving on to the pros and cons of the Greatsword. We got a lot of damage being outputted of this weapon. It has very good reach. And it easily breaks down shields. Easily. Even though I didn't get the best footage for the Gorgal, I did cut through his shield. It's just that battle hit me a lot and just kept hiding behind that damn shield and I kept having to break it. So I didn't use it. But on the con side, it is a very heavy weapon. It takes a lot of strength to wield. And the animations are very slow. Moving on to the score. Damage gets an easy 10 out of 10. No explanation needed. Reach also gets a 10 out of 10. Still obvious there. Animations though gets a 3 out of 10. For having no unique animations and being rather slow, I couldn't see any reason to score it higher than that. Bonus though makes up for it by being a 9 out of 10. Now even though it only went to C and D, its next upgrade would take it to 2 Cs, which is worth it in my book. And Miscellaneous gets a 6 out of 10, for being rather easy to locate, but still requiring a tremendous amount of strength to wield. So in total, the Greatsword gets 39 out of 50. I still call it excellent. Still easily worth your time, despite its tremendous weight and requirement to wield it. The results speak for themselves, I believe. It takes a man to wield this sword. You gotta have guts. Well, maybe you don't have to have bee guts, but you gotta have them to wield this weapon. So that's all for the purpose of taking out the opponent's guts. Now I've beaten that joke to death. It's still an excellent weapon, though very slow. So big weapons are not everyone's fancy, but they certainly are useful, and you can't argue against that. But well, that has been today's showcase. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.